right. Hey everyone, welcome back to Nothing Nerdy. I'm back here with the Inspector Who Reacts. Hello, Inspector, how are you?
Hello.
And today we are discussing Spider Man Homecoming.
Hmm.
Um, so this week I have to watch two movies. So we kind of broke it up. I watched Spider Man for tonight's stream, watching another one.
Yeah.
Which one am I watching for Sunday?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Oh, okay. All right. So this week was Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming. I watched half last night, the other half this morning. Um, so you want me to give my overall impression or
Yeah. What did you think? What did you think
okay.
of this one?
All right. Hello, Mixie. How are you? Um, okay. So I really liked it. I really, 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 really liked it. I would say this is so far of all the ones that I've watched, it's a toss up between this one and the first Captain America movie.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, it was because okay, so you have to understand too. I just watched Captain America: Civil War, and like
Hmm.
it took me days to recover from that. Okay, it was a bit too much for me. um,
Yeah.
and that I would say out of all the movies was the most jam packed. So this was like very refreshing.
This
Um,
was a simple story.
yes, much more
Like,
simplistic in its plot. Um, I love the character, Peter Parker.
yeah.
He's just so likable, and he's a kid.
Yeah.
Um, there were so many. I feel like there were so many things about his character that you could just connect with. Like he's someone who he wanted to be important. He wanted to prove himself. He was
You
always
wanted to
being
build a. You wanted to build a Lego Death Star.
yes. And you gotta love him for that. Oh my gosh! And his best friend. Don't even get me started. I
Yeah,
love
man.
him.
Uh,
um, like he wanted to prove himself. He second guessed himself. Like
mhm.
he wanted to help. So he had all these characteristics that you could just connect with, and I loved seeing his
Makes you bring
character
some
connect with.
New
He's
Yorker.
a New Yorker. That's right. um, and it was cool to see his character evolve. How like he does gain like he kind of overcomes his self doubt in the end. Um,
Yeah.
and he kind of finds his confidence and his power, and that was so cool to see. And it was fun. There was something nostalgic about watching a movie with like about a high school kid.
Yeah.
I mean, it was only like a few years ago for me, but
Yeah. This like it's kind of weird. Because the older Spider-Man movies, high school was um very kind of it was kind of like a normal high school, but this one's much more. I don't know. It's because the technology's advanced now. There's like everybody's got cell phones, everybody's got all these kind of technologies, computers everywhere.
yeah,
So it's a different kind of high school than it was for older Peter Parker stories.
yeah,
I feel
times are different. And the one that came out, why can't I ever remember his name?
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. Yeah, he was in college in that one, right? Or no?
He was leaving high school, going to college.
Oh, okay. All right. I couldn't remember. Steve, hello. How are you?
Um,
Um,
yeah,
yes, I don't know. I guess I haven't watched a movie like that in a while, so it was kind of.
yeah, the kind of high school young
Yeah,
kid.
I don't know why it made me feel nostalgic. I just kind of part of it made me feel like I was reliving my, high school days a little bit,
Mm.
But, um, yeah. So overall, I love the movie. Oh yes, his best friend.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, he
Ned.
was hilarious.
Yes, that is a good boy.
He made the movie even better. Like his reactions to things. I just felt like this was a movie with like likable characters, so many likable characters. Um,
Yeah,
so Ned and his
and
hats. Yes.
and this we get to see Happy again for the first time in like a few
Oh,
movies.
that too. Yeah, like seeing Happy and Iron
Tony
Man. Um,
and Pepper's
And
back.
Pepper, yeah, and that was I think that was the other thing too. That kind of brought me back, like it was so long ago. Brought me back to like the first Iron Man movie, and the
Mhm.
dynamic and just their humor and sarcasm and wit and um, the chemistry between those characters, and it was just oh my, it brought me back to that too. So it made me like it even better. It wasn't like the serious Tony Stark, you know. It was the funny and
Yeah.
lighthearted Tony Stark. Oh man,
The
that part was I laughed out loud at that part at the end.
the
Okay.
the Uncle Tony, Father Tony.
Yeah,
He's yeah.
I liked I liked that side to him. Again, furthering his character development, you know, he's maturing and he took on this role of, you know, kind of taking Spider-Man under his wing. I mean, we saw a little bit of that in Civil War,
Yeah.
um, you know, but this was, it kind of expanded on it.
Yeah.
And you could tell, too, like, Tony's kind of, this is kind of new for him, but
Hmm.
he lucks
He's
out and he kind of is like, you know, kind of does a good job. You know, he says the right, he does end up saying the right things to him, and he says the right things
yeah.
and teaches him the
He's
ways of the Force.
he's he's learning kids. He's learning how to be a parent.
Yeah.
Even though he's got no kids of his own. He's like, but Peter's kind of like like, I mean, he did okay with the first kid in like Iron Man 3, but now it's like Peter. He's got to he's kind of put Peter on the spot.
There was a
And
kid
Peter's
in Iron
trying
Man
to
3.
remember the one that was, yeah, the that one kid uh, that was like, I'm cold. And
Oh,
then
that
Tony,
kid. Yes.
yeah,
Oh, yes. Oh, that's right. Oh my
and
gosh,
then
you're
Tony just
right.
leaves him in the snow.
You're right. Yeah, he didn't know what to do then, so he has come a long way. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna
And
center
that was the
myself.
last time we saw Happy too.
What's that?
That was the last time we saw Happy too.
Was it? It was so it has been that long. You know, when I saw
Yeah.
him, I was like, oh, like I forgot about him. Like, how do I forget about him? I mean, come on, Mandalorian. Like, how do I forget about him? And his character is funny, and
Yeah.
so I yeah, it was exciting to see him. 'Cause like I said, I forgot about him, but and he
Yeah.
was really funny.
This is definitely one of my favorite one of my favorite Spider-Man movies.
Mm-hmm.
Not just an MCU movie, but compared to like the other Spider-Man stories, this one's definitely a very simple but good
Mm-hmm.
one, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. Just I guess at some point I should watch the other Spider-Man movies to compare it. I like I said, I just watched the one,
Yeah,
and it's been so long since I've seen that.
that'd
Um,
be that'd be interesting. Like after Star Wars next year, we can catch you up on other Marvel
yeah,
movies or
yeah, that'd be fun.
comic book movies.
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, and was a movie that it's so rare that a movie makes me like laugh out loud. But
Yeah.
like I laughed out loud a lot through this movie, which I like. So it was very entertaining. It was very funny. Um,
Um,
so yeah.
let's see. So yeah, it begins with the Civil War kind of flashback, where he's like filming it on his little phone. It's like, where's
Yes.
Captain?
And I kind of like that element because I feel like it's very appropriate for the times. Like kids, teenagers these days are filming every aspect of their lives. So I feel
Yeah.
like that would make sense. Like if a teenager finds out he has these special abilities, you know, gets bit by a spider, blah blah blah. Of course he's gonna film it, you know. Um,
It's like you can't show that to anybody. It's like, I know. Then why are you narrating? Because
um, wait, did it start with that or did it start with them cleaning
yeah,
up
it's
the
oh no, yeah, it started with the cleanup. It started with
okay.
a vulture.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I didn't realize initially that they were cleaning up after the battle in New
Yeah,
York.
it's
That they were cleaning up after
2012.
the, what's that?
Which yeah, it's the 2012 Avengers attack, alien attack that we had.
Okay.
Which, by the way, there's a slight hiccup. The movie says 8 years later when it's really 6 years later. When
Oh.
we, so yeah, it's like a small mistake that they admitted they accidentally did.
Oh, that's so funny that they like actually made that mistake.
Yeah,
It would be good to see the Spider-Man movies help you see why people say the MCU fixed Spider-Man.
yeah.
So overall, people like this version better than like previous ones.
There's kind of a split because some people feel like this Spider-Man isn't as relatable because, like the other Spider-Man, he's always struggling with, like life and rent and jobs and all that sort of stuff. This one has Tony Stark, so it's like he's kind of not as he's still struggling with his identity and his keep trying to balance school and being
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man. But there is that kind of slight disconnect that some people don't quite agree with on this Spider-Man
Interesting.
compared to the other previous Spider-Mans, which I can understand.
Mm-hmm.
But I still feel like this one Peter does a good job
Yeah.
being struggling.
Yeah, no, I definitely felt the struggle. Um, and there's the time where he kind of is forced to take a break from being Spider-Man and focus on his, personal life.
Yeah,
Winston, hello, how are you? I do like Spidey. Garfield was the most recent. I'm assuming
yeah.
you don't.
That was the one between Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland. Tom Holland's this Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire was the first one. There's Andrew Garfield. It was another Spider-Man reboot that was done before they brought into MCU.
Well, isn't that complicated?
Yeah, that's like I said. That's the Sony Spider-Man timeline is issue reboots, remakes, things is weird.
Interesting. Also, hello. I'm doing good. How are you? Um,
Um,
all right. So it starts at the beginning. They're cleaning up the aftermath of, the Battle of New York. Um, there's a cleanup crew there. They're cleaning up all the damage. But then while
led
they're
by I was just gonna say led by Batman, which is Michael Keaton.
Oh, you're right. I knew the actor was Michael Keaton. I forgot he played Batman. Oh,
Yeah, it
that's
was
kind of
like
cool.
yeah, it's like he's always playing somebody with wings or like he's like Birdman in another movie. He was Batman. Now he's Vulture.
Vulture. Was that what he's called in this?
Yeah, that's Spider-Man's villain, Vulture.
Vulture. Okay. I'm gonna write that down because I'm gonna forget that. I'm like you. Well, okay. So you know how like when I take my notes, guys, I make up phrases and words. And this one, he was called Big Bird.
That works too.
Not the big yellow one from Sesame Street, but you know what I mean. Fun fact: a few years ago at Disney Hollywood Studios, kids were hanging out with Spider-Man in a meet and greet. Turns out it was Tom Holland. The kids freaked out.
Oh yeah,
Aww, that's
yeah,
cute.
that's right.
Very cute. All right. So cleanup crew, led by how do you say his name? Toomes?
I actually don't know how to say his name. I always forget it. I just call him Vulture.
Did they even? I'm sure they said the last name at some point, but we'll call him Adrian. How about that? Or Vulture. Well, led
Yeah,
by the cleanup crew is led by the soon to be Vulture. When all of a sudden their cleanup is disrupted by the Department of Damage Control, United States Department of Damage Control,
yeah.
um, which is
Tony's cleanup crew, basically.
yeah. So they're kind of stepping in and they're like, "We're gonna take it from here. You guys are, we gotta let you go." And Toomes, whatever his name is, Vulture. He
Yeah,
was like, you can't do this. Like
he's
we
not
have,
happy with that.
yeah. He's like, we have families, we have kids. Like we need myself and everyone here. Like we need this job. We have a family to support, and she was like, nothing we can do about it.
Which,
Um,
which I was like, when I rewatched the movie, I just rewatched the movie, and I was thinking about, wait a minute, what does this guy do? What his contract does he do? He knows this is alien stuff. Of course, it's gonna get taken away. It's like, it seems like he had I don't know what contract he had, or is he a normal construction worker? Is he a independent construction worker? I was I was very when I was watching, wait a minute, what is he? I was a little confused there for a second.
that's true. I guess I didn't really think about that. It's not like it wouldn't be a city worker, or maybe another part of the government. I don't know. He is in salvage. He repurposes and uses.
Uh,
Uh,
oh, okay, interesting.
this is Joe Frankie. I bet when Frankie gets to the X-Men, she likes Cyclops instead of well. Oh, I don't know. I guess we'll
Oh,
see.
yeah,
um,
that was also another kind of funny thing that I never noticed until I watched this movie, that he's a scavenger, like a vulture. So it's kind of
very
like an
fitting.
interesting little trick.
Very
Or
fitting.
yeah,
Um, so I mean, so we learned his motivation. You know why? Well, you know that's what kind of what drives him through all of this,
Yeah.
which I thought was very. I felt like
Uh,
was good. Like that's something that drives a lot of people to do crazy things. People do anything for
yeah.
their families. So
Understandable.
yeah, it like makes you understand where he's coming from. Um, and that's something you could see throughout the movie is that family is very important to him.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so then all right, so they end up taking something.
Oh, there's a truck that was full of junk.
Mm-hmm.
That the construction people didn't take. They
Mm-hmm.
decided to repurpose it for themselves,
Uh-huh.
and they're very tech savvy, so they're able to make some interesting gear.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So there was like some of this alien technology that they found, and yeah, they decide to keep it, and then well, we fast forward 8 years, and we see what how far they've come with it, or not 8 years,
yeah,
6 years.
yeah.
Um,
To present day.
right. Yeah. So now present day, we've seen that they've made all kinds of crazy weapons. He's got a suit,
Mm,
vulture suit. So Vulture's motivation was real for sure. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Um, and we'll see about X-Men after like next year. We'll see about X-Men
Mm-hmm.
for other Marvel stuff. And everything we see.
Okay. You're non-canon. All right. Let's see. Um,
It's not that they're non-canon; they're their own timeline.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so they end up making these. We kind of see his new get up. It reminded me of Falcon. Falcon. I
Yeah,
got it right. Falcon. But much.
yeah,
Felt like it was very scary looking, very dark,
yeah. He
very.
was. This is also This is actually the first time like Vulture's been in a live-action movie. The
Ah.
other Spider-Man movies hadn't done his character yet.
Mm-hmm.
So and like they were, I think it was because it was like, okay, we've done this villain. Like the other movies have done this villain. The other movies have done this villain. What's the one villain that we haven't done yet? So let's bring in Vulture. So I
Ah,
think that's
okay.
why they picked
That's
him.
cool. That's really cool. And Vulture was in the comics then.
Yeah, he's one of Spider-Man's villains. There's
Gotcha. Okay.
like Spider-Man has his own because he's a neighborhood. He's his own hero. He has his own set of villains too.
That's
He's
cool. I guess.
quite a bunch of them too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like in the credits scene, there's a hint for one of his villains, which is Scorpion. With like one, I think that actor, that one character that
With the
Tombstone
scar.
in prison
Okay.
is gonna be the Scorpion.
Okay. Yeah, they kind of alluded that this guy was going to come back and do something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then we get to where it overlaps with Civil War, and we see
Yeah.
Peter kind of filming his Spider-Man
Yeah.
adventure. Teaming up with the Avengers, and he's
There's
kind of
Captain America. There's Tony.
Yeah.
There's,
That whole
I took a shield.
that whole scene was funny, and Happy's reaction to him, you could just tell he's just so like
He's
annoyed
like,
with him.
yeah, he's like, I have to babysit.
Yeah. It was so funny. Mm.
That's
Madigan watched
Madigan.
it too. Totally not coffee. No, this is water. Okay, the non-water comes on Twitch.
And then, so we cut to Tony and Peter in the car, and Tony kind of makes a joke about Aunt May. It's
um,
like-
I don't remember.
which okay, I was like, so okay, there's kind of this. So this Aunt May, apparently, like she's obviously not that young, but she's younger appearing than the other previous Aunt Mays that have been in previous Spider-Man movies. So there's like basically people saying this is hot Aunt May, and then the movie kind of even continues that joke where it's like people are like trying to ask Aunt May out or like is she available or something, giving her free on the house samples or something.
Oh God. I love that she's sporting my colors, though. Who, me? I'm sporting my Spider-Man colors.
I was actually thinking about like for one of these, like if there's like some MCU merch, we should get you like the Captain America dress from the first Captain America, the ones those like dancing girls had.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought you meant like a Captain America suit that looks like a dress. Would I put one of those? Oh my gosh. I'm sure they're out there, probably on Etsy somewhere, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's cosplays of that.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my god. We
but
shall see. Save your channel points, boys. Okay.
oh god. Yep, save your channel.
All right. All right. So what happens next?
Oh, he gets to keep the suit, and him and Tony's like Tony's basically saying, yeah, take care of yourself, like be good, do your usual spider thing, don't worry, and we'll contact you if we need you for anything big.
Yeah.
And then he goes to hug Peter.
That was so funny. That was so awkward. He's like just reaching over to like unlock the car, but Peter thinks he's going in for a hug. Which, like, who can blame him? Who reaches over and opens up the door for them? Like,
yeah, I don't get it. It's like, I don't know. He's new at this parent thing.
Maybe if you're on a date, but excuse me while I open up the door for you.
Wow.
Not that I've done it, but I mean,
Yeah. So it's like, that's not a hug. I'm just opening the door. We're not there yet.
Tony hugs. He does. He's sentimental.
Yep. And then it cuts to 2 months later and nothing. Like nobody's called Peter. Peter just it's like waiting for that text.
Yeah, they show him. He's calling Happy all the time. He's texting him like, all right, I got off of school at this time. Let me know if there's anything you need me to do. Like,
Yeah.
he really wants to be helpful and prove himself, and like, you start to like empathize with him, like,
Yeah.
poor kid. So,
Yeah.
and he's telling and he's starting to like, leave all his after school activities. Like, he was on the debate team, and he's like, oh, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Or he was on other things too, and he's like, oh, I can't do it anymore because he's like, he's gotta free his evenings up for the Tony Stark internship.
He's preparing for being available. Basically.
Yeah. But the call never comes. So, but yet every day after school, he puts the costume on. He hides his clothes in an alley, and he tries to. What's that?
He becomes Spider-Man.
He becomes Spider-Man, and he tries to help people, but he's like helping people who like aren't like in need of help.
Yeah, it's kind of like a slow day for him.
Yeah.
He stops the guy with the bike. He's like, "Is this your bike? Is this your bike?" He's like, "Nope."
And he stops the guy from stealing a car, but he's like, "Man, this is my car."
It's my car. Then Stan Lee's like, "Don't make me come down there, you punk."
Yes, we had our Stan Lee appearance out the window.
Which, fun fact, I believe like Spider-Man is Stan Lee's favorite hero he created.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, he's a good character.
Yeah.
The New Yorkers yell at each other. We do.
Yeah, it's a very New York episode in that moment.
Not everyone's like that, though. I don't yell at people. Just
do a flip.
I more so yell at the people I know as opposed to the people I don't know. Because that's what you do.
And then let's see.
And then there's one night where he happens
the robbery.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So he's out looking for something, and then all of a sudden he happens to catch a group of guys breaking into an ATM. They're gonna steal all the money or whatever.
Yeah.
So he swings in there, and he's like all awkward. He's like, like how do I
Trying to be
get their
casual,
attention?
like
And they see him and whatever he sees the technology that they have, this crazy alien technology. They get into a big
Yep.
fight. Weapons are shooting all over the place, and one of the big guns ends up shooting across the street,
across the street. Yeah,
at the deli that one of his
that he visited
that
earlier
he visits, that he knows. He's known him forever.
and blew it up, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he ran over. He saved both him and his cat. I'm sure I was glad. But it was destroyed.
Yeah. So he's trying to tell Happy that there's guys with technology, but Happy's not listening to him.
Yeah.
So he makes it. He loses his, and he unfortunately loses his backpacking clothes in the alley.
Yeah.
So he has to sneak back into his room.
So he sneaks back in all stealth-like. So he like gently opens up the window and he climbs on the ceiling and he closes the door and he gently steps down and he turns around and there's his best friend sitting there with the toy Death Star, like.
Yeah, the Lego Death Star just lets it drop and shatter to pieces.
Oh man, his reaction. And like I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
His reaction was priceless.
I'm not Spider-Man. I'm not Spider-Man. I just saw you on the ceiling.
Madigan's is yelling.
Yeah, it's a great scene. Where it's kind of nice to also have like Spider-Man have people that know he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Instead of him just being Peter and Spider-Man all the time. He's able to kind of have a conversation with somebody about this.
Yeah, and it's just so entertaining just to see his friend's reaction. Like, can I tell people about this? Can I tell them? Can I? And oh my gosh, can I be the guy in the chair? You know how they always have that guy in the chair?
Like with the headset and everything.
Yeah.
It's like
no guy in the chair.
And then he starts quizzing him. It's like, can you lay eggs? Do you spit venom? Can you like do all these things?
All these stupid questions. But yet, if you think about it, like, you probably ask some stupid questions too, if trying to figure out how it all works.
It's like it's like, so yeah, a spider bit you. You got all these powers. What else can you do?
I wrote that down, the part about him laying eggs. That was funny. All right. Okay. Oh yeah. So then, the next day, when like we kind of see them going through the course of their day at school. His name is Ned.
We get
right?
Captain America on TV.
Oh my gosh, that was another thing that was so funny. So they have Captain America doing all these,
what are they called?
Public service
the promotional.
I wrote down. Wait.
It's.
Is it public service announcements?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. PSA?
PSAs?
Yeah, PSAs.
They're kind of seeing him doing like he does one for like their gym class, detention. They show him doing
something else.
They show him doing one in the end credits too.
Yeah, which by the way, can you I'm sure you just skipped to the end credits, right?
I don't sit through it.
Okay, can you imagine waiting to the end credits for Captain America to say you waited all this time just for something? Like,
I could see people being pissed about that.
That's honestly like it's both the worst and my favorite end credits scene because it was such a call out.
Yeah.
Like the MCU knows they have you. They have you sitting here waiting.
I thought it was funny, but I could see how like people who are waiting for these movies would be.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious, but it was just such a meta moment.
So okay, so we see him. We see they play that little video at the beginning of gym class, and oh yeah, and like MXC says, gym teacher's like, yeah, pretty sure he's a war criminal now, but anyway, turns it off.
I gotta play this video.
Yeah. we overhear. So they overhear. The girls are talking about who they do.
They're
what
doing
with.
the
Yeah.
FMK.
And the girl that Peter has a crush on
Oh yeah.
says she likes Spider-Man or whatever. And his
And,
best friend
yeah.
is like, Peter
Blurts
knows
it out.
Spider-Man.
It's like, dude.
You're not supposed to
So
say
yeah,
that.
they make arrangements to have Spider-Man attend her party,
Mhm.
and yeah, Liz is
Liz,
her
yes.
name.
I did know her name. I just came out
Yeah.
girl. I'm sorry.
So they head to the party that evening, I believe,
Yeah.
and oh, of course, during the whole thing, we have this other girl, Michelle, like just was like you got like calling them out all the time. It's like they're spying, like they're watching Liz. They're like just like doing this.
Oh,
She's like,
she's
stop
funny.
staring.
She's her observations throughout the
Yeah.
movie are pretty funny. I like her
Yeah, it's like-
reactions.
She's like, you guys are losers. And then she also points out like Peter's been like she points out like Peter's skipped this class, she skipped this class, or he's given up these classes. I'm not obsessed. I'm just observant.
Oh yeah.
And then at the party, she's just like, you guys came to this lame party? It's like, you're here. Am I?
She's funny.
She's so perfect.
Yeah. So they get to the party, and his name is Ned, right? Ned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ned's like,
Ned.
okay, like go get Spider-Man. So, Peter disappears. He changes into he goes outside. He changes into his costume, and while he's outside changing, he like looks out in the distance and he sees like this big like explosion type thing.
Yep.
So, obviously he's got to investigate. So he. Oh, was this the scene where he goes to like spin out his web?
Yeah.
And, like
there's
doesn't catch on to
no
anything.
buildings, and he's having to sprint across
Yeah.
the golf field. It's like, this sucks.
That was funny because like another comical moment because like that never happens. Like it never fails him. Like he's always able to, no matter where he is, always able to save himself and
Yeah.
spew it out.
It's one of those things where it's like Spider-Man can only work in New York or a big city. He can't work like in fields or like trees.
true,
Like,
it makes
it's much harder for him.
In the country, he wouldn't. In the country, he wouldn't be the Spider-Man he is today. So.
Yeah.
So he makes his way over there. Where are they? They're at a gas station, right?
No, this is under the bridge, and it's the guys trying to sell the weapons to Donald Glover.
Oh, okay. I was excited to see him. And I didn't realize it was him right away. I saw him
Yeah.
and I was like, I know this guy. I know I've seen him in something else. And like it wasn't until like the end of the movie, well, towards the end of the movie, where it finally clicked for me, and I googled it just to make sure it was him.
Yeah.
Solo, but I was like, oh my God, it's him.
Yeah. Lando.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's this is another little funny thing. It's like so Peter Parker has Peter Parker's phone or Spidey's phone gives them away like the ringtone, which is one of those things like what millennial teenager has a ringtone these days? Like nobody does that.
That ringtone. I don't remember what it was, but it was something. Wasn't it some like?
It was a
country
yodel
or-
of sorts.
Yeah, it was like. I didn't get that. I just didn't get that. Like,
I don't know.
I feel like it
It was just.
must have meant something, but what could it mean?
I think it was just kids these days.
I don't know. It's like,
I don't know. Yeah, but it gives Peter away, and the guys are about to shoot the guy they were selling to, and Spidey basically says, "Hey, shoot at me. Like, don't worry about him. Like, it's not his fault." Yeah, so they try to shoot him. They make their getaway, but Spidey basically has to kind of chase them.
Oh yeah, they go on a big wild goose chase or
Car
whatever it's
chase.
called. Yeah,
car chase in the neighborhood.
Oh yes, and so he's swinging all over the place. He's landing in people's yards. He scares a group of
Yeah.
girls and attends. Um,
Yeah.
that was funny, like
Yeah.
kind of interrupting people in their day to day life. I think it was
As
just
he's making
silly.
as he's
I
catching
don't,
up.
maybe I guess one of the things I've learned about Marvel is that everything seems to mean something. Like there's all these little. So I was like, I just assumed that
Sometimes,
meant something.
yeah, sometimes it means something. Sometimes it's just silly. It's kind of one of those two things.
Maybe the Spider-Man from the comics was a yodeling fan.
I'll have to look that up.
I'm actually gonna. I
um,
don't think I'm crazy. I am actually gonna Google the ringtone because I'm curious if it means something. Maybe we just don't know.
um, yeah, I also like the Ferris Bueller reference. Have you seen Ferris Bueller?
I have. What was the reference? Oh,
Just him running
like
through backyards.
oh,
And,
you know what? It's been a long time since I've seen it, so I
yeah,
guess I don't remember that. Yeah, that
it
was
was
a
like
classic. That was one of those things that my sister made me watch. She was like, "You have to watch this."
that. Now it's like your turn. Eventually, I'm pretty sure you're gonna show your nephew, and your family like this MCU.
Oh yeah. We do that in our family. Well, I guess a lot of families, friends do that. You know, there's a movie that you grew up with, or a movie you really like, and you got to make somebody else watch it, and then
Like it's one of
like
those
Star
things that
Wars.
Doctor Who said perfectly. It's like I've seen the universe, but I want to show you the
Yeah.
universe. I want to see what you see in the universe. It's
I
like
can show you the world.
yeah, it's the same thing. It's like with reaction videos. It's like I want to see what you see.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. It is fun to see people's reactions to things, but
Um, so yeah, so um, in the middle of the chase, Vulture on his Naboo starfighter catches Peter.
yes, he catches him and they struggle, and
Yeah,
he ends up dropping him in the water,
yeah, into
like
a
a
river of
river or
sorts.
something. Um, and then we see the Iron Man suit pull him out, and
Flying, yeah, cool.
Tony.
They have a discussion.
Their second heart to heart of the movie. Tony kind of scolds him for getting involved, and he's like, I'm tracking your suit. I know what's going on, because Peter's like, I tried to tell you guys, and Tony's like, I know your whereabouts. We know what's going on. We track you, and he tells it like, you
You
got to
did,
stay out of these things, like.
you could have like you didn't have to come out here. It's like oh I'm not here. It's just a suit. I mean wherever he was.
Wherever
Like
he was like he was having a drink. He was like listening to the music, and he was all adding song to bot. Oh God, no, please. That's gonna make people leave the stream. Captain Spike, hey, how are you? Sorry, I'm late. That's okay. It's all good. I know we don't typically do this on Fridays, but we're trying to get an
yeah,
extra one in.
new day, extra day.
But I like Spider-Man.
Um, see what? Oh yeah, so yeah, the weapon that he was being attacked with during that whole chase gets knocked out. So he comes back, picks up the wreckage of it to see what the technology is.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, he doesn't go to the party. He just goes back home,
Yeah.
and him and Ned like look what this is.
Yeah, they start to like at school. I think it's just the school. And the next day, they start to like mess with it. They're doing stuff with the
Yeah,
wires, and um, I think Ned he's like a tech guy, so he understood some of it, and
yeah,
um, but anyway, so when they're at school, they're walking down the hall, and Peter recognizes um,
yeah. The two guys
two
like
two of the
the
guys,
sellers.
yeah, from the night before. So they follow
They
them.
track him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I guess they're there looking for the technology. They're
Yeah,
their thing, and they don't find it. Peter puts one of his spider trackers on
yeah,
them to try and figure out where they're going. So later on, they're at Peter's house, and Ned is able to track them, or whatever. They're able to track them, and they find out that he's traveling to Maryland.
yeah. So I don't. like Peter basically makes his way there to find out where they are.
Yeah,
And
he shows up at the school bus the next day for the debate team, and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm back. I'm gonna
oh yeah, I'm going to
change.
go to Washington with you guys to do
Is it
the
debate?
quiz.
It is a debate team, right? Am I correct on
Yeah, the
that?
debate
Okay.
sort of.
Um. So yeah, so he shows up. He's like, "I'm gonna go." So they make their way there. Um. So once they get to the hotel, they start messing around with the suit. It was really weird. Wait a minute. Was his friend on the debate team Ned? Like, was he?
Yes,
He
yeah,
was
Ned
on the
was on
team.
the debate team.
Okay. I guess I didn't realize that initially, because I remember thinking, why did they allow him to go? He's not on the team. That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
guess he
he
is.
was there
He
in
was.
the quiz,
Oh, he was.
and
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I guess that went over
So
my head.
yeah,
All right.
they're messing with the suit. They pull out the tracker, unlock the baby. They disable the baby monitor mode on it, so he's able to
They
have
unlock,
all these other technologies,
yeah, they unlock the suit's full potential. Um,
which he doesn't know how
yeah,
what its full potential is.
yeah, he thought it was already at its maximum potential, but then it's all of a sudden the suit starts talking to him, and um,
Yeah,
like congratulations. um, so um,
so
so I guess
he
it's
makes
been.
his. Yeah, that's when he gets to. That's when he heads out to
Mhm.
face to go find the guys, and that's yeah. So during all that, he finds out that he learns about his suit's new powers. He kind of realizes they're not working for him. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, default mode, default mode.
Would you like it? Would you like to set on what is it? Automatic kill?
Yeah, insta kill or something
Insta
like
kill?
that.
Yeah.
No,
No, no.
no.
Oh man, would you like to engage in the training program?
It's like I feel like you don't know what you're doing. Should we start over or something? It's like just give me a minute.
Yeah.
And then yeah, then the trucks with the technology drive by that they're trying to get. Vulture shows up, and him and Spidey have a scuffle, and Spidey gets locked in one of the trucks.
Yeah. Um, he gets locked in the truck, and then the truck is brought to like a warehouse, I guess.
Yeah,
A warehouse of sorts. That's
something.
like sealed, top notch, no way out.
Yeah,
So we see him. So he's like, he kind of gives up. He's like, all right, I'm stuck here. So he takes the time to talk to the
Karen.
girl. The girl. Well, yeah. And like they're having all these conversations, these deep conversations. He tells her about the girl he liked, Liz, and
Yeah, Liz.
and then finally like I feel bad calling you. I don't remember what he was calling her, girl or
Girl voice,
voice.
robot lady,
Yeah.
something.
It's like what can I call you a name? And she's like okay, and um, he decides on Karen.
Yeah.
So and he's like, all right, how long have we been here? For 37 minutes. What? So they're making it look like they were there for hours, but it was
Yeah.
like 37 minutes. He's like, all right, Karen, we got to unlock the time timing mechanism.
Well, he's searching through like some of the stuff to help him get out, and he realizes that the technology that him and Ned have been carrying is explosive. So he has to get out of here fast to call Ned.
Oh, okay. Um, so then they're able to. So she figures it out. They bust out, and yeah, he realizes he has to um, rush to get to Ned because Ned is carrying the what's really
Little
like
glowy thing.
the glowy thing, which really is like a bomb. He was holding on to it for safekeeping. He realizes what it can do now. So
We're at the Washington Monument.
we're at the Washington Monument. They're on the elevator going up. So at this point, he's also missed the debate.
Yeah, he's
So,
missed the debate.
yeah, nobody knows where he is. Whatever. So they're going up, and then all of a sudden the device
Activates.
activates and explodes, and the windows on the elevator shaft or
Bust.
whatever.
There's all crooked, about to fall. So he starts climbing the monument,
Mm-hmm.
um, and as it's like the tour lady who's done this like a million times, she's just so bored. She's just like, "Hey, don't worry, we're safe. The occupants are in danger. Everything's gonna be fine. They are not fine."
Yeah. Um, so then he there's like this. He learns that there's like this spider drone thing that can circle
Yeah, thing that
around,
flies.
finds a point of entry. He gets there and he has to find a way to break into the window because it's like top notch security.
Yeah,
Can't get in. um, so, uh, and then the like I guess like the police or FBI, I don't know who it is, they show up in their helicopter. And they're
yeah,
trying to stop Spider-Man from, like, what are you doing? You got, like,
yeah,
they're ready to shoot him. So,
yeah. I don't think Spider-Man's part of the Accords, so it's kind of a weird thing
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
He's probably kind of he's kind of a rogue in this situation.
Suit Lady. Who's Suit Lady? Because it's Jennifer
Jennifer
Connelly.
Connelly is the voice actress for Karen,
Paul
the suit lady.
Bettany. Oh, okay. Oh, a Vision. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. That's cool.
Yeah, Vision Jarvis. Yeah. Wait. Oh yeah, yeah. So Jarvis was a voice, and now his wife is a voice for
That's really cool how they did that. Oh, that's nice. Vision equals Jarvis. Gotcha. Right. Very cool.
So yeah. So Peter eventually breaks in, saves the day.
Mm-hmm.
It saves Liz.
Yeah. Just barely. She like
Yeah.
everybody's out, and all of a sudden like the elevator starts to fall again, but
Yeah.
he's able to like grab her or whatever, pull her out, and he gets everybody to safety.
Yeah.
So.
And Karen's like, you should kiss her.
Yeah. Now it's not a good time.
He's just Brandon falls down. So everybody's safe. Everybody gets back to the New York after the dangerous situation they were in.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. Let's see what's next.
I have my my stuff here.
Oh,
is that the wait? Hold on.
The barge?
I'm out of order here. Parker manages to save Leeds and his fellow classmates. Okay. Then they return to New York. Parker persuades Davis to reveal Tomb's whereabouts. Okay, so how does he find him? I don't remember how he finds him.
I think his security cameras, like he replays some video to find the facial recognitions, and finds out. Oh, this is when he does the interrogation on Donald Glover.
Oh my gosh! And even he was like, "Dude, you got to get better at this part." Karen Lowe.
It's like I'm not a girl. I'm a man. I'm a boy. I mean, a man.
Oh yeah, he it was one of those settings that she was able to change to make him sound like it was interrogation mode or something, to try and make his voice sound really scary and intimidating.
And he's just like, you've never done this before.
It's like, dude, I've heard your voice before. You don't sound like that. Like, but I guess he decides to level with him.
He helps him out because Spider-Man helped him.
Yeah.
In a moment.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, I know a couple of guys who are gonna buy from them at this location, so this is where you should go. He's like, cool. So he runs off. He's like, hey, no, get me out of this. It's gonna dissolve in 2 hours. No, I got ice cream in here. You're a criminal, man. I'm sorry. Can't help it.
So he heads to the Staten Island ferry. Finds out that's where he is or whatever. And we get another one of those big disaster moments, which I hate those in these movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, they end up fighting or whatever.
Paul, what's his? Not Fal. I'm confused. Vulture. There's too many birds. Like pelican, bird, falcon, vulture. It's like,
See, I'm not crazy for thinking pelican.
but yeah, Vulture shows like makes his appearance, attacks Spider-Man, and during the chaos, one of the weapons malfunctions and cuts the entire bar or ferry in half.
Yeah, it goes right in half, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, I always say I hate those scenes in these movies. I mean, thankfully everybody was fine, but oh my gosh. So then he tries to obviously save everyone, and so he takes his web and
just starts pulling it, trying to pull it together, keep it together.
And then
doesn't quite work.
What did she say? 87% accuracy, or something like that.
You were 95% efficient.
Yeah, and he's like wait. And then it starts to come apart again. But then fortunately, Tony Stark and his Iron Man suits come to save the day. His technology.
Save the day. Peter's kind of put in the corner for a moment.
Yeah. He.
And of course, you keep going.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was he basically says like I was trying to talk to you. I was trying to get you guys' attention and all sort of stuff. It's like, and if you actually cared, you'd be here. And then Tony's here.
He takes the suit off, and this time he really is here. And he kind of shames him for doing what he did. Like, this is beyond you. You shouldn't be getting involved like this. And he's like, give me the suit back. And, Peter, like, freaks out. He's like, this is all I have. I'm nothing without this suit. And he's like, well, if you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it.
Yeah.
Great scene. Yeah.
It's a great scolding moment.
Yeah, it was a good scene for Tony Stark. He's man's finally growing up.
Which is, like that line also applies not just to Peter, but to him. Because if he's nothing without the Iron Man suit, then he shouldn't have the suit.
That's very true.
And, like, it's also like the other heroes. Like, Captain America was someone great before the serum. And, like, Banner, like, Hulk was a genius. Like, he's a scientist before he became the Hulk. So almost all of these heroes have something besides their powers.
Right. Which is
so
good.
That's kind of what he's trying to tell Peter.
Oh, yes, right. Tony was like, "Oh man, I sound like my father."
It's like now I get it. Now I get why my father was like this.
We all reach that point where we start to sound like our parents or whoever raised us.
Yeah, that's become me.
Yeah.
my dad. It's like, oh, now I get why.
Yeah, we're guilty of that. Tony was a war profiteer for the suit. Yeah. Then he almost died to his own missile. Yep. All right. So then he loses the suit, and he kind of forces him to like focus on his personal life. So he starts to focus more on school, and he finally works up the nerve to ask Liz to homecoming.
Yeah.
I was like, I was cheering. I was like, yes, he has his moment.
So yeah, we get him and Aunt May picking out a suit.
Oh, that whole scene was adorable. They watched like this YouTube video on how to tie your tie.
Oh yeah,
that was so cute. And again, so like relevant to the times. Like that's what you do nowadays. You don't have to do something. You pull up a video, and neither one of them knows how to tie a tie, so you got to look it up. And she teaches him how to dance. And I love that. Sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead. I was just gonna say what to do, what to do this.
And I like the scene in the car right before he gets out. Like she drops him off at her house, and she like right in the car she gives him like a refresher. Like, okay, you do this, you do that. It was really cute. It was very sweet moments.
And then the door opens.
I don't know about anybody else, but like I didn't see that coming. My jaw dropped. Like, and again, another thing about this movie, It's so rare that I watch a movie that actually makes my jaw drop. I was like,
Yeah.
I actually gasped.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but for half a second before that happened, I was thinking, oh no, it's gonna be Vulture. But I didn't think he was gonna be her dad. I thought he was gonna capture her or something. It was like, oh no, it's worse than that.
That was like, that was good. Like that was good. That was like, they got me, and I like it when a movie shocks me and get like,
And then
that's good storytelling. That's like a to me that was like a huge twist. I was like,
yeah,
oh my
and
god, well this changes everything. This is like,
this is the family he was trying to, help and raise and take care of.
yeah,
And
and he
and
like,
Peter knows what he's doing.
mm-hmm.
So that was a very intense scene.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I felt it. I was like, I'm like, oh my god, Peter, just act normal. Just act normal. Just act normal. It was so awkward. He's like a nervous wreck. He like can't take his eyes off of him. He doesn't know how to react. Does he know?
He's like thinking a million situations at a minute.
Yeah, like, does he know it's me? What do I do? What do I say?
On top of being like trying to, this is the dad situation. It's like, how do I impress the dad? But at the same time, it's like, oh, this is the villain.
Yeah.
This is the problem.
and he's like, his eyes are like glued to him. And at one point Liz is standing next to him, and she's like, oh, is that a corsage? And he's like, eyes glued on the TV, just shoves it.
That moment got the biggest laugh in the theater. Because it's like, we're all kind of like just on the edge of our seat, but we're like trying to like keep the tension balanced by laughing.
Yeah, that scene, that was one of those scenes where I was like, oh my god. Like, it's like you want him to act normal, you want him to impress her, but he's just doing everything wrong because he's so scared.
He's in Spider-Man mode.
Yeah. And I like the actress who plays her mom.
Yeah.
Garcelle something, I don't remember her last name, but I really like her, so I was excited to see her in this movie. So anyway, so they leave for the date. The dad, Toombs Vulture,
they're driving down
driving
the road.
Oh, right answer. Oh yeah, that scene was funny too, where Liz comes downstairs and Vulture, the dad, is like, "Oh honey, you look beautiful," and
doesn't she?
And yeah, he's like, "Doesn't she?" And he just looks, and he's good answer.
Like, yeah. It's like, do you drink? It's like, no. Good answer.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so like Liz is like, being normal. She's like worried that her dad's gonna not approve of Peter.
Mm-hmm.
But Peter's of course like, meanwhile, just like frozen, like just stuck. Like he's just like, oh god.
He's just terrified, and she's got obviously no awareness of what's going on. She's just going on her phone, showing him videos, pictures, or whatever. And the dad's like asking him questions and trying to like get to know him a little bit better. Who's this guy taking out my daughter? And it seems to be going well, but then
they bring up Washington.
And and Liz was like, "Oh, well, Peter wasn't even there. He missed the debate or whatever."
Yeah.
And it comes out that he misses a lot of things. Like he disappeared at the party, at her party, and
the party was the same night as when Spider-Man interrupted the selling thing. And of course Spider-Man was in Washington.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so it's like, so he figures out Spider-Man shows up where Peter is missing.
Yeah, and you see his face. He starts to piece it all together, and you see like Peter's face in the background, and he's like scared for his life. It was just, It was such a good scene. It was so good.
And yeah, they finally make it to the party. He lets his daughter out, and has a talk with Peter.
He's like, yeah, I just want to have a little talk with him, and she's like, oh, go easy on him, Dad, and whatever. She goes to wait inside, and then he has a little chat with him. Yeah. And he's like, I know it's you, I know who you are, but you saved my daughter.
You saved my daughter, so I'll let this slide. We both let this slide.
And again, we see again, his motivation, we see just how important his family really is to him. The only reason he's letting Peter go is because he saved his daughter, one of the most
Yeah.
important people to him. He's like, but don't, I'm going to let you go, but don't, don't get involved anymore. That's
Yeah.
it. And he lets Peter out of the car. But now, one thing that they mentioned earlier is that the reason why the dad took that is he's on his way to the airport, like he's going on a trip or something. So Peter pieces together that he is going to.
He has a job.
Yeah.
He has a vulture job.
Yeah, and then he's going to intercept the plane, the Tony Stark plane, Avengers.
Yeah, they're leaving the Stark Tower and moving all the Avengers stuff to the Avengers facility.
Yeah. So, moving day.
So
I'm getting
Peter.
Winded.
So Peter, like, he goes into the party. He's like torn between wanting to date Liz, or have a good time, but at the same time he's like, no, he has to be Spider-Man. He has to stop this.
Yeah.
So he goes out, and one of his assistant basically catches Peter, stops him, and Peter's got his old jumpsuit, his old like hoodie and what that he made.
Yeah.
And this guy, the guy with the electric fist, is called Shocker, which is another one of Spider-Man's villains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not. I wouldn't say it's like he's Shocker, like, because he doesn't have like the full suit and all that sort of stuff. But he's kind of like he's going to probably become the Shocker.
Okay.
That is one of Spider-Man's. Like there's the Shocker, there's Vulture, there's Scorpion. There's a lot of like. There's Goblin and Octopus. There's like a lot of interesting villains that Spider-Man's deals with.
Okay. So they face off right outside the school. It's not going well for Spider-Man. He loses his
web shooters.
Yeah. Which, like, okay, so again, someone who doesn't understand Spider-Man or the Marvel that well, why couldn't he shoot it without the shooter? I don't understand.
So in the Tobey Maguire one, he had natural web shooters.
Yeah. So that's the basis of my understanding.
Yeah.
So it's not really.
But in the comics, like the original comics and most of other Spider-Mans, it's always been these mechanical web shooters. It's not been like natural. So there's always been these devices that he's always had.
So there was never so in the real version there wasn't the story of him getting bit by a spider and.
No, he gets bit by a spider. It's just that that in some versions it's natural that he can shoot webs, but in other versions it's he uses little wrist things, web shooters, that he makes or somebody else makes for him. So there's two types of Spider-Man sorts, abilities, powers.
I guess that confuses me because then so he got bit by the spider, then the only thing that it just made him really good at jumping. Like, I don't understand.
It makes him strong. It makes him climb up walls. It makes him his spider sense, which he can detect things kind of before they happen sometimes. And he's strong. He's actually one of the physically strongest MCU character or Marvel characters.
I guess I just think that's so strange that he wouldn't so like he can climb. So then why wouldn't he be able to naturally shoot it from?
I don't know. It's kind of a. I don't know. For me, now that I think about it, it's like it's kind of weird that he can do that naturally, whereas mechanically it would make more sense to me.
Yeah, like that really confused me. I was like, why would he need that? Like that, I assumed would be natural because if you're a spider, I realize he's not a spider, but I mean. He has all these other abilities. Why wouldn't he have that? I feel like that's a little weird.
Yeah.
But I'm not Stan Lee.
But yeah, so Ned saves him.
Yeah.
By using one of the shooters.
That was pretty cool. Ned grabs one of the shooty things and wraps up the guy and saves the day.
Yeah. And he tells him, go be the guy in the chair.
Yeah.
Help me figure out. It's like Liz's dad. I gotta stop him.
Mm-hmm. So he heads in to the computer lab at the school, and Um, I guess he's like tracking things from the
Right.
computer and
He's calling Happy, trying to warn Happy,
oh yeah.
while also guiding. Because apparently, Peter actually left his phone in there to track where Vulture was going,
Hmm.
which I didn't. Which was like, oh, okay.
Oh, I
So
didn't
he
realize
had
that.
that planned. He set that up.
That went over my head. Okay. Um, Honestly, I think they did it to make selling toys easier.
Something like
That's
that. I
interesting.
do remember having a Spider-Man silly string toy when I was younger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, back when the older movies were coming out.
I guess at some point I'm gonna have to start buying Marvel toys.
It'd be interesting to see like the new content that you could have.
Yeah, right. As I've been on Amazon looking up, more Star Wars stuff to buy, I come across when they give like recommendations, like so I've seen some Marvel stuff, and I'm like, oh, I guess at some point I should do something. Captain Shield and Iron Man mask first. I have an app for that. I tried to when I sent you my picture for the thumbnail tonight. I tried to it just didn't work out right though. There was a Spider-Man mask, and I was trying to
Yeah.
like line it up right. It just wasn't.
Mm.
Couldn't size it right, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, back to the movie. So he steals Flash's car, which is the bully of the school.
Yes. Oh, yes. We see. Yeah, Flash is kind of like bullies him and teases him throughout the whole movie, and then he lands on his car and he's like, tries to disguise his voice. He's like, "Man, I need your car." He's like, "It's my dad's car."
And then it cuts to him drives into some bicycles and
Yeah.
kind of scratches it up a bit.
But yeah, and he takes off and he heads to the tower, Avengers Tower, whatever, where the airplane is taking off. And the whole time he's going back and forth with Ned. And at one point, Ned gets caught.
Oh yeah, he gets caught.
One of the teachers walks in, and she's like, "I'm pretty sure there's a dance going on. What are you doing?" And he just looks at her and he's like, "I'm watching porn."
Get you a friend who would do that for you.
Well, it's like kind of like the perfect answer, because it's like, all right, well,
Yeah.
she's not going to ask any more questions after that, and whatever.
It's one of those. Yeah, it's just like. Yeah.
It's so funny. Oh man. But then that's kind of the last we see of him in the chair, and it's back to Peter, and
He finds Vulture's warehouse.
I don't remember that.
It's where he meets him there, and they have a talk, they have a discussion, and Vulture calls his wings in to break down the pillars
Mm-hmm.
to have the whole thing collapse on Peter.
Oh, that fight. Oh, right. Yes. Oh, okay. Sorry. You're right. Yeah. And he ends up getting trapped under the rubble, and that's where we have this moment
Yeah.
of truth, and
Yeah.
he's. I feel this again, another scene that was so good. He's like.
He's freaking out
He's
at first.
freaking screaming and crying, and it was so realistic. Like.
Yeah.
You
It was.
you don't typically see that from the heroes, and it makes sense.
And-
He's a 14-year-old kid.
Yeah, he's a kid. He's just this kid.
He's trapped.
Sure, he's got powers, but
Mm-hmm.
panic sometimes catches you
Yeah.
when you're not.
It was so I love that scene. It was so good.
Yeah.
And and then there's this. He's just like he's ready. He's screaming. He's crying. No one's coming to help him.
And
And he has this moment where he just kind of looks up, and
he remembers Tony's words.
yeah. If you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it. And
So
he's like, he has this moment where he's like, okay, well, I have to be something without the suit. I have to do this. I have to prove that I can do this.
I can do this. It's like me and Spider-Man. We can do this. We can
Yeah.
we'll lift ourselves out of this problem.
and
And
he did. He pulled
Yeah.
himself out, and
Yeah.
he went on.
so he's saved himself and was able to catch up with Vulture on his way to the plane.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so they get to the plane. Vulture is in the plane. Peter is on the plane, and
Yeah.
the plane looked really cool. Like, I guess it had like was it like this cloaking device
Yeah, it's
thing?
got like reflective cloaking device to kind of the same thing like the helicarrier had in the first Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
yeah,
right, right, right. I just
yeah, it was really cool.
it was like, yeah, it looked really really cool. So yeah, so they have another fight.
Mhm.
Um, anyway, the plane ends up. I was confused about this. Wasn't someone piloting the plane?
No, it was
It
autopilot.
was on autopilot. Okay, I was confused because I guess I misheard it. I thought they mentioned someone piloting the plane, and that Vulture had to get there to stop
Yeah, it
them.
was like security. It was like security systems would have activated if he didn't disable them. And then, um, yeah, I don't know. I felt like there should have been a pilot, but I guess
Maybe
they
it
just
wasn't.
trusted their technology enough to fly the
Okay.
plane all the way back to them.
Okay, yeah, because that was one of the. I thought at first I thought they were going to be like it was going to be the whole crew. It was going to be like Happy on there and Tony Stark and like his people and I thought they were
Yeah,
all going to be on there. But then I realized they weren't. So then I figured there's at least a pilot. And then I was confused because then the plane ends up crashing on Coney Island on the beach or whatever. And I'm like, he doesn't go to
what's
rescue
Coney
the
Island?
pilot. Yeah. uh, it's not time for your snack yet. Soon. Um, I was like, why didn't he go to save the pilot? But maybe there wasn't one. Um,
But yeah, Vulture. Him and Vulture have a air fight, and the couple of engines get broken and some wings get snapped. So they manage to crash land on a beach.
mm-hmm. And yeah, it there's flames everywhere. The plane is all over the place. Um,
Happy sees it go down.
yeah, happy. Um, and then you can recognize the outline by the tower that the plane cut through.
I've never been to New York, so I didn't. I've never like I was gonna say.
Well, you want to know
Oh, so
something?
that's what.
I wouldn't have realized it was Coney Island unless I had the notes in front of me.
I was gonna say that's what.
They
Okay,
told me.
that makes sense. You would know. Like I
Listen,
didn't.
I live in New York and I haven't been to 75% of New York. New York,
Have you been to the
New York
city?
is big. um, but yeah, so the plane goes down and then um,
Him and Vulture have a fight.
they have another fight and at one point, and then Vulture goes to take off. He grabs one of the
Crates that
crates or
has like
something.
some stuff worth a lot of money that
Yeah,
he's
and
trying to.
explosives, I guess. And Tony's like yelling at him. He's like, "No, no, no! You're gonna die. You can't do that. It's gonna explode. Whatever." So he goes um, to
He
stop
tries to
him,
stop him. Yeah,
and
his wingsuit malfunctions and gives out. So
yeah,
Peter runs in and saves him.
and saves him. Yeah.
Which I'm glad, honestly. I thought they were gonna kill him off, and I was like, oh, okay, so they do save him.
I did too. I did too. But he did the right thing. He saved him. He spideyed him up.
Saved all the stuff and webs him up, and
He left a note. And
for
then we see Happy, shows up
yeah,
and was it yeah right? Happy shows up there. I don't
yeah,
know.
he shows up and sees the note and everything.
Um, and yeah, and they take care of that. So he misses the dance. He misses everything.
Liz's father is revealed to be a criminal,
Mhm.
so she has to leave.
Yeah. So the next well, in the days following, yeah, she says goodbye. We see them at school. She's saying goodbye to all her friends, and she's like, my father doesn't want us to be here for the trial, so we're leaving. And I was so mad that he didn't tell her who he was.
Mm.
I'm hoping that in the future Spider-Man movies, she comes back and he gets to tell her. But I was like, why not, like, why not tell her? Or why not do something cute where, like, he doesn't tell her but shows her? Or, I don't know, kind of allude to it. And then she kind of figures it out after the fact. Like, I got ideas, okay? And they didn't they didn't do any of them. I was so
There's always
disappointed.
there's always moments with these movies. It's like it's like Captain America. Why did they do this?
Oh, I'll never get over Captain America and Agent Carter not getting together. I'll never get over that.
Steggy.
Oh, that scene where the plane goes down. Okay, but anyway, yeah, this was one of those frustrating moments. I was like, why not just tell her?
ABC does bring up a good point.
Tell her he's the guy that got her dad busted. All right,
Of course,
that.
he has to be careful with who he reveals he's Spider-Man to. He can't just tell people.
Well, I know he can't just tell people, but like you broke her heart, like. But I realized no, I really wasn't thinking about that. It would have hurt her even more to find out that he's the reason.
Yeah.
But yet he's saved
Yeah.
her dad. He would have died, which she probably doesn't know. But well, I was disappointed.
Yeah. Also, I didn't realize that Peter is one of the few heroes who has a secret identity. Like everyone else, kind of exposes,
the open, that's true.
reveal. No, he actually keeps himself hidden
That's true.
for to protect his family, his friends, people close to him. He doesn't want like his Peter Parker life to be ruined because he's Spider-Man.
It's true. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, you're right. None of the others.
Yeah,
and it's kind of makes it more exciting for that.
Yeah.
It's hard to be Peter. It is hard. But then, all right, this next scene, I was roaring.
Yeah.
I was roaring. He gets a text saying, "Meet me in the bathroom."
Oh yeah.
He goes, wait.
Oh.
He goes to the boys' bathroom at the school. Happy is in there.
Happy's waiting in there.
Happy's like, I don't remember what he said exactly, but he was like, I don't know how I can't thank you enough. And it's about to get really sentimental, and then all of a sudden, he toilet flush.
Yeah.
And then kid walks out, and he just
washes his hands.
And they they play the whole scene. He just washes his hands, takes his time, dries them,
takes some soap,
dries,
and leaves. It's like, hey, you been here all day? It's like, yeah, I've been here for a while, long enough. It's been awkward.
Oh, that scene was so funny. Happy is some of the most genuine moments John can act. He really can. He really can. He's very funny. Madigan's got Nancy.
So they take a drive to the Avengers facility that has been fully updated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they go to the new place. Did they drive there or they flew? I thought they flew there.
Yeah, they drove there, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I have to pay attention sometimes. Okay. And
it's okay. It's a small detail.
Yeah, no, well, the reason why I even say that was because I remember thinking, well, that's crazy. He flew him all the way out there? That's ridiculous. And then when Tony's like, oh, Happy will take you back, I'm like, he's going to fly him all the way back? Like, I remember thinking with the distance, I was like, why would you bring him all the way out here?
Yeah, this facility is in New York. It's in the same state.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Probably just a drive. Yeah.
It was just one of those things I was thinking about when I was watching it. So Tony's like, well done. I underestimated you. You did good. And he was even like patting himself on the back. He's like, I did pretty good too.
Yeah, like taking your suit away was just the push you needed.
Yeah.
To learn.
And he tries to make an analogy, and it wasn't like going well, but he tried. And then anyway, he takes him into this room, and there's this brand new Spider-Man suit. This high.
The Iron Spider suit.
Iron Spider suit. Okay. And he's like, put the suit on the other side of the door. I told you were a good kid. Aw. Happy. On the other side of that door is reporters. Like, let's present you to the press and introduce you officially as part of the Avengers, or
basically, like you're gonna move here. You're gonna live with us. You're also of course, you're gonna have to reveal your identity, but you're with us now. You're an Avenger.
Yeah. And he thinks for a second. He's like, no. He's like, I can't do that. Like, I appreciate it, but I can't do that. I'm sorry.
He's like, wait, no, like you're not doing that. I'm hearing this right. Like,
Tony was like in disbelief. And he was like, all right, well, happy, we'll take you back. And so anyway, Peter starts to leave, and he was like, he turns back, he was like, wait a minute, was this a test? Was this a test? Did I pass? Like,
Like, there's not reporters back there, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, you're fine, you're fine. And then Peter leaves, and as it turns out,
Pepper.
there are reporters.
Yeah.
And Pepper comes out. I was like, yay, Pepper! I was so excited to see her.
They're back together.
Yeah, they're back
Like, after
together. Pepper has, I don't know what it is. I mean, I've seen Gwyneth Paltrow like in other movies, but there's just something about her in this role that she just has such presence. She just lights up the room. I don't know. I just adore her as Pepper. But so she walks in, and she's like, I have all this press out there. You know, what am I supposed to tell them if he's not doing this? What am I going to tell them? And Tony, if this had happened to me, I would have punched him. Tony was like, hey, Happy, like, you still got that engagement ring? He's like, yeah, you're kidding. I've been carrying this since 2008 or whatever it was.
Which 2008 is the year Iron Man 1 came out.
Oh,
so this
okay.
is the year it started.
So he pulls out the ring, tosses it to Tony.
Pepper's like, I'm just gonna go in there and sell something else.
If that was me, I would be like, this is what it takes for you to propose to me? This is what it takes? I would have been like, hell no, but I guess they did it.
Now they're gonna be together.
Yeah, which I'm really happy. So. And
back with Peter Parker, he's back. He goes back home, and he gets the suit back.
We see him when he gets back. There's a package waiting for him on his door in his bed. Well, first of all, he walks into his apartment. He's calling for his Aunt May. Aunt May, are you home? Whatever. She doesn't answer, so he's assuming he's home alone. He walks into his room. He sees this package there from Tony Stark on the bed. He opens it up. It's his suit. He's so excited. It's not the new suit. I noticed it was the one he originally.
It's a classic suit.
Yeah, and he tries it on. He's excited to have it back on, and then all of a sudden he takes it off, and all of a sudden we see Aunt May behind him, and she goes, "What the?" And then credits, music blasting.
Yeah, and Peter's just like, "Oh no, yeah." So she knows.
She knows. Oh my gosh, that was another moment where I busted out laughing. That was a great moment.
Yeah, and that was Spider-Man: Homecoming.
That was it. And then we get the mid credits where we see Vulture at the prison. He's walking down the hall. He crosses paths with Scorpion, and Scorpion confronts him. He's like, "Hey, I heard that you know
the identity
of Spider-Man," and he looks at him. He's like, "If I knew who he was, you think he'd still be alive?" And so Scorpion's like, and whatever, and
they pass by. They continue on,
and I thought that I was really surprised by that, but he could have thrown him under the bus, but he chose to kind of save him.
I feel like there's a theory, or what some people says, like the partial reason probably because it's like, if they find out Peter Parker is like Peter Parker Spider-Man, they'll go after people
important to him.
Yeah, and Liz is on that list, so he doesn't want to put his daughter in danger.
Yeah. I know that. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. That he was like, he saved him. He saved his life at the end. He saved his daughter. Like that was his way of paying him back, maybe making them even.
Yeah.
But.
That could be it too. There's a lot of probably elements to why he's not just gonna out Peter.
But, I thought that was. I was surprised. It was another moment that caught me by surprise. I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, sure, she's in Oregon, but that doesn't stop villains sometimes.
Yeah. And then we get the end credit scene, which is another PSA from Captain America.
Yeah. That was such a good one.
Those were funny. But yeah, so this was such a good movie. This is a movie I could see myself watching over and over again. I don't know. And honestly, even after talking about it now, like in the beginning, I was saying, I'm kind of torn between this one and the first Captain America is my favorite. And after like
Yeah.
talking about it, I kind of think that this might be my number one favorite so far. It was just
Oh,
so good. I just thought it was my kind of movie. It
yeah.
wasn't. A lot of these movies are very score. Oh,
Yeah.
score. I have to score it. I'm
What
gonna
would
give
you
it.
rank?
We is not a fan. We're
Really?
gonna have to talk about this later.
I guess.
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
9 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty good. But again, everyone's got different tastes. Like
Yeah.
most of these movies, 99% of these movies are not. Although while I'm enjoying them, they're not my type of movies. Like I'm not one for like lots and lots of violence and lots of people
Yeah.
dying and not natural disasters. Like these big disaster movies where buildings are exploding and people are falling from heights, and
Yeah.
I
I
can't,
I don't I don't know if this is in my top 10, but it's definitely close.
hmm
It's like a runner up. It's
yeah,
definitely one, but it is definitely one of my favorite Spider-Man movies.
okay,
Um,
yeah. I mean, I guess I'll wait.
so yeah.
Obviously, there's more movies for me to watch.
Yeah.
My feelings might
Yeah, we'll
change.
do
We'll do the scoring
now
at
that
the
we know
end.
Mandalorian's like October 30th, so we got a few time before
Yeah,
we can do the movie tier list. Like there's those little tier list video
yeah,
things.
yeah.
We do that like the week after we catch you up.
Okay. Um, yeah.
So
This is
speaking of
just my type.
catching you up,
Mm-hmm.
the next movie is Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Okay. Now, is there more than one Doctor Strange movie, or is just one?
No, nope. Well, there's like an old '80s
Oh, okay. I just want
one.
to make sure I don't get it
It's
confused.
like, no,
on
there's
Disney
just this one
Plus. Okay.
on Disney Plus. Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. You don't have to buy this one.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Okay. I rented it for $3. Not bad. So I got
Yeah.
standard definition. It was $3.
And now you might buy it.
Yeah. You know what? We shall see. Yeah. This was a good one. So.
Yeah. Sunday is Doctor Strange. This Sunday,
Yeah.
not next Sunday.
So yeah, so since it was two movies, we did one on Friday, one on Sunday. We'll be talking about Doctor Strange this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. If you guys want to join us. So speaking of the Mando, are you all going to adjust the schedule for it? You got more weeks in between. October 30th.
No, it's like let's see.
When
No, October 30th. Let's see. We should be done by the end of this month, like October 4th.
Oh, okay. So like about another month. All right.
Yeah.
And then we could have a week
So-
where we talk about where we rank them. We could do that for another week.
Yeah. We would rank them, discuss them, and then I guess a week break,
hmm
and then Star Wars talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll start
Got it. Yeah. So nine more movies. Okay. Wow, we're getting there.
9 more
Almost
movies.
done. All right.
Um,
You might not need as many double movies. Yeah. Well, he said there's not that many where we have to do double, right? Not many left.
yeah, like only 3 of these weeks would need a double.
Okay.
So only 3 of these Fridays.
Okay.
So we've got 2 more Fridays basically. This Friday, the next Friday, and the Friday after that. That's it
Okay.
for doubles.
Okay. Cool. All right.
So yeah.
All right. Well, I think you do it 2 more weeks in a row. I guess we'll play it by ear. If I happen to have a crazy week at work, we
Yeah,
might have to do 2 on a Sunday.
Uh,
Like I could still do 2 movies in a week, but depending on how the week goes, I might have to do 2 on
Yeah.
a Sunday. But
Yeah.
we'll
It
play it by ear.
depends. It's plan. These are the planned days.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. Well, once again, thank you so much for hanging out with us and for joining us on this Marvel journey. It's been marvelous.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited to check out Doctor Strange, and yeah, we will be back on Sunday. And yeah, so thank
Very
you
excited
guys
for Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, thank you.
That
for,
one is in my top 10.
Oh yeah, okay. And now we are heading on over to Twitch. If you all would like to join us, I'll be there in about 5 to 10 minutes. Playing Old Republic and talking Star Wars. We're switching gears from Marvel to Star Wars. So, and again, I want to mention I do have a new channel. For those of you who haven't checked it out yet, just reactions. There's a link to it in the discussion section on my YouTube channel. If you want to check that out. And also, if you haven't already, please give Inspector Who Reacts a follow as well on his YouTube channel. I got a lot of great stuff on there. So
I will be, apart from streaming, I will be posting more videos soon.
awesome. Cool. We'll be checking that out. All right, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and I will see you all in a few minutes. Bye, everyone.
Take care. See you.